Hello everyone, my name is Gary. Thanks for checking out the video. Today's video is going to be about getting a good vocal sound, mainly in reference to recording. So let's get right to it.
Gary Gredison Beats.
This is a very complex thing. There's so many people out there that will, make a video about how to get a good vocal sound, and it'll be all within Pro Tools or Logic or whatever, insert DAW here. And it'll be just how to take whatever it was that you recorded and tweak it and make it better. So that's generally the consensus on that. Now, there's so much more involved in getting a good vocal sound than tweaking it after the fact. The number one thing that's important, and you'll probably hear me say this a lot in other videos. You may have heard me say it before. You may read it in posts on my blog, or any of my classes. You'll probably hear me say something about preparing, about getting the right sound before you record it. So that's really the key to getting a good recording in any aspect, including vocals, is to get the right things in the beginning, recording it properly. I'm currently working on a post for my blog where I was reminiscing about an old professor from college who would always say to us, and it was more than a few times that he said it, and if you want to hear something sound a certain way, record it that way. And it really is a lot to do with getting the right sound up front, not trying to fix something or trying to if I with the right EQ and the right auto tune and the right mixture of these plugins and this is the ultimate radio ready vocal sound or something crazy like that, some kind of gimmick to get you to watch a video or something like that. That's just ludicrous. The truth about a good vocal sound is about getting your voice in the right place before you record it, about testing out different microphones and finding out which microphone matches your voice best, about changing where you place the microphone and where it is that you're singing or rapping into it. It's about so many things. Now, I understand that, so if you're recording yourself, or if you're recording on a budget, so you're going to a cheaper studio or this or that like this, that's gonna keep you in a limited situation. But that's why it's so important for you to get your voice where it needs to be before you're recording, because that's what's going to get you the best vocal sound, is getting your voice to the place where you are in control of it, where you understand how to work with the microphone, how not to be like this or like this, but to understand what happens with your voice in accordance with the microphone, especially understanding which type of microphone you're using. It's so important to be better in order to sound better on a recording. I can't really stress that enough. And I'm not necessarily saying that, oh, well, you're not good enough, be better. I'm saying in the sense of like where you want yourself to be sounding, where you want yourself to be. What kind of tones, what kind of things do you want? Do you need to work on something to get your voice there? You know, are you finding that you're not able to go long periods of time using your voice? You know, do you need work? Do you need to go to a vocal trainer? Do you need to go to a vocal coach? Do you need to study more? You know, there's a ton of great videos on YouTube you could watch from vocal coaches who are giving free training on, you know, strengthening your voice, getting more out of your voice than you already are getting. So there's a lot you can do, and getting a good vocal sound on a recording is more about that than anything else. It's more about you getting the sound you want from your voice before it hits the mic. Now, the other thing is that sometimes you just need to do a lot to get your voice stronger. You know, it's that you sometimes have to just do a lot of crap before you can get a good sound. You know, you have to spend a year recording constantly stuff you're never going to put out, you know, 2-3 times a week doing new things, even if it's like the same handful of songs that you're working on, just re-recording them over and over and over again. Because, I mean, can't you tell that your voice is going to get better just by doing it? Like, I've said this before, that if you've seen any of my other videos or heard me say, like, doing something a lot makes you better at it. It's just a simple fact. So, I mean, the same thing goes with your vocals. If you're constantly you know, working on songs, you're practicing, you're hammering out ideas and vocalizing them, whether you're, again, this applies to whether you're a rapper or a singer or whatever you do with your voice. This applies to anyone, whatever it is that you're doing. Rapping, singing, screaming, yelling, yodeling, whatever. If you do it more, you're going to be better at it. So, and then if you're better at it, you're going to sound better on a recording. Whether that recording is through a really crappy mic or a really good mic, you're going to sound better if you are better through a crappy mic than you would if you are not as good through a really good mic. You understand? So it's so much more about getting what you want before you put it down. Recording something the way you want it, you know, so that doesn't mean don't record until you're ready. That means record a lot of stuff that you may or may not use and get used to the idea of working with the microphone, understanding how it works with your voice, hearing yourself back. You know, sometimes just the idea of recording yourself and hearing yourself back, what you sound like, is like, whoa, is that what I sound like? Wow, I don't like that. I want to do this with it. I want my voice to sound this way. I want my voice to sound that way. So hearing it back is a really helpful tool. So I work with, you know, a lot of people over the years I have, who need that work, who should be spending the time doing that work, and I'll do that work with them, alongside them. We'll be getting together once a week and just recording stuff, and I'll push people sometimes to their limits, but it's really important for you to work yourself out, to get yourself working, getting this instrument of yours worked out like a muscle. I know it's not, I don't know if it's a muscle or what, but it still needs, when you use it more and you learn to use it more properly, it gets better and stronger and you're able to do more. Okay, so keep that in mind. Work on it. Don't just expect that, oh, well, I can sing notes, so yeah, we're going to the studio in 3 weeks, so I'll read the lyrics until now and then when we get there, I'll sing. No. Sing now a lot between now and then. Because once you get to the studio, if you're not worked out, you're going to get through 3 takes and be like, that's good enough, right? No, it's not good enough. It's never good enough like that. If you aren't able to get through several takes, so we have options here, you're not going to get a good sound. If you don't have multiple takes that you can get through in a session for a song and have options, you're not going to get the good sound, the good vocal sound that you're looking for, okay? So, the end of the day, you need to be able to get through several takes, okay? I don't recommend recording many songs on one particular session. That's another thing some people do. They're trying to save money in the studio, and they're trying to just maximize the time there, and I just want to get through a bunch of songs, and instead of doing enough of the multiple takes on one song, they'll try and do a little bit and then try and get through 3 songs or something, and by the 3rd song, it's unusable takes, you're just worn out. So that's another thing. Minimize how much you're doing per session, okay? And focus on one song at a time. I'm coming in, I'm going to do one song. We're going to work on that song. We're going to get that mint. We're going to do several takes. We're going to then sit down and go through the different takes. If there's something that's just not right, there's nothing there for us to work with, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do that part again. I'm not going to do just that line. I'm going to do like a little before and a little after, okay? And then I have that on a separate thing, and then I can look at all the different things that I've done. And now I'm here while we're doing that. We're finding the best parts. If I need to redo a part, I'll redo it. Okay, I'll just hop right in and read. The mic is still set up the same way it was before. Okay, you don't want to expect that you're going to come into the studio for a 3-hour session and do 3 songs. Okay, I mean, if they're 3, like, all right, they're freestyles I'm doing for YouTube real quick, and you can do them in 2 takes each. I mean, okay, maybe you can do that, and it's not like an essential thing, like for your album. But I recommend, really, if you're working on a project, a single or an album or an EP or something, I recommend just focusing on one song at a time and taking your time, okay? You're going to find going through, let's say you're working on an album, you're going to find going through each song, getting all the vocals tracked, that by the time you get to the end of it, you're going to want to redo the first 3-4 songs. It's not unusual for that to happen. I'm going through that right now with someone. So, oh wow, my voice sounds so much better on the last 4 songs we did. I think we need to redo the first, X amount. And of course we do. So oftentimes another thing that you should do is re-record songs later. Come back to them. Work on your album, all right? Record all the songs and then come back to the beginning where you started and see, do I need to redo these? Are they as good as what I've been doing? Because again, by recording and working out your voice and going through the work and working on the music, you're getting better. So consider going back to songs you had done in the beginning of that process and redoing them. It's almost guaranteed that they'll be better. I can't see why they would be worse. There have been a couple of times that's happened, and it's just that, oh well, this was just right the first time. Okay, but redoing it isn't. You're not deleting that. This isn't the tape days where you're I mean, if you're recording on tape, then please be cautious with that, okay? If you're recording on tape, do it on a separate track if you're going to redo it, or bounce a rough cut of the whole entire tape to a new tape, okay? And record the vocals on a new tape just in case, okay? Please, if you're recording on tape, do not just go over the same track and re-record. And another time, if you don't like it, you have to, you're stuck with it. So anyway, so just please bear in mind that the most important thing for you to do is consider that you need to get your vocals where they need to be before you record them. That's what getting a good vocal sound is all about. It's not about what EQ I should use, what settings on the EQ, which EQ plugin, or which compressor, or which preamp, or which mic I'm using. It's less about that and more about you being in the zone that you want to be in with your voice. You being in control of your voice, you being understanding of how your voice works with the microphone, how you sound when you hear yourself back, criticizing yourself but not overly, and understanding what happens when you do certain things with your mouth, with your chest, with your body, okay? Learning about that, spending the time to learn about those things, whether you're a rapper or a singer or not, okay? I find that rappers tend to benefit a lot from exercises and techniques that singers use, okay? Even if you're never singing a note ever, learning to do things with your voice that are strengthening it and making you more in control of it, understanding breathing techniques and, just exercises to work it out, warm-ups. Those things are things that can really, really benefit you, okay? The other thing I want to say about the last thing I want to say about getting a good vocal sound is that I find that a lot of people tend to think that, that they can smoke heavily and still sing or rap. And while I myself enjoy a little bit of cannabis once in a while, and sometimes it tickles me, but the biggest thing about my throat that makes me clear it a lot is because I talk a lot. I teach classes all week long. I'm always talking. I'm working with people, working with clients, so it messes up my throat. So I have work to do on keeping that strong, okay? And getting through those things and all the work that I have to do. And I like to sing too. So for me, it's about the endurance, because I need to use my voice a lot, including doing these videos, okay? But I find that a lot of people think that they can smoke blunts, okay, one after the other, go outside, smoke cigarettes, and constantly be subjecting their voice to this smoke, and thinking that it's okay, that they can just, I'll just get through a couple of takes and be okay. Look, I smoked cigarettes for 14 years or something, so I no longer do. Okay, I realize what had happened. It was a bad habit. But if you are someone who smokes, you need to stop now. Okay, I totally, regardless of what health issues it's causing for you, this is about your voice right now, and your voice is being messed up by doing that. So not only that, but your breathing. You need to be able to breathe deeply and hold and control the breath coming out of your mouth, okay? And control it from here, okay? Not from here or here, but, okay, in just below your chest, okay? You need to be able to control your breath. If you're a heavy smoker, that's not easy to do. So please, 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 just cut it out. Okay? I mean, look, I understand that, making music requires a little bit of, open mind, right? I'm all about it. But you got to control it. You got to be more aware of what it's doing to you. So cannabis is okay, but cut out anything tobacco and bring the cannabis to a reasonable level, and don't smoke heavily when you need to do your vocals. Simple. I know that you probably came to this video thinking, oh, you're going to get some like how-to on setting up your microphone or something. I'll probably do that at some point. But the important thing to note here is that this is about getting a good vocal sound. Getting a good vocal sound is about having good vocals to record. And then recording them after that is secondary, okay? So as long as you understand that what's really important about getting your good vocal sound is getting your voice to the place you want it to be or that you need it to be in order to do that, okay? And learning to track it better and mix it better and all that is all secondary to getting your voice better. All right. And by recording a lot and practicing and writing and practicing and writing and practicing and working on it, that is going to get you to that place. So don't think that you're just going to step foot in a studio or you're just going to turn on the mic and things are going to be just, that's it. I'm good. I got this. We just need to tweak it. You could tweak it, right? You could tweak it. That's my favorite when someone does one take and then just leaves the booth. And like, that's good, right? You could do something with that, right? You do your thing with that, right? Well, I guess, but shouldn't you do another take and see if it's better? Or, I mean, I heard you mess up once or twice, fumble a word. We're just going to keep that. That's what you want, right? Okay, right. So that's not how you should record. Okay, you should be doing multiple takes. You should be comparing them. You should be finding out what's good about this one and what's good about that one and what's bad about this one and bad about that one and how I can combine the qualities of both of them and do another take and make it better. And you should be listening back to yourself over and over and hearing it again. And when you leave the studio or when you're finished recording wherever you are, have a version of it and listen to it 1,000 times and understand how you can do it better. Okay? You should never do a song in one session and it's done. You should consider the fact that you're most likely going to go back and redo it. Okay? I generally have people redo things at least once. That first time is the chance for you to listen to yourself and hear the best of what you could do on that song that day. Okay? So another day, it might be better. So don't accept the idea of just, okay, well, that's good enough. You can tweak that. Don't ever accept that you can fix something later or, make it work in the mix or relying on an engineer to make you sound good. That is the mark of someone who shouldn't be an artist. If you want to be an artist, you should be good. It shouldn't matter who the engineer is or what kind of mix is happening to it. You should sound good no matter what. Okay? So it's about your voice being good. That's what getting a good vocal sound is, okay? All right. That's it for today. So thanks for watching. I hope that you stick around for my upcoming videos, and I hope that you'll subscribe and check out my website. I've got a lot of cool things there, beats, my services, everything that, and I'm currently working on several blog posts to put there. So I'm going to be writing a lot in the coming weeks of content for the website. So stick around, maybe sign up for the list if you want. Just this way, as soon as I put up a post, I'm going to send it out to everyone who is on the list. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.